Trying to be perfect is making you boring. And I don't mean boring in the sense that there's no personality. I mean boring in the sense that you're editing the really raw and authentic and interesting parts about yourself. The niche interests, the awkward jokes, the weird obsessions, the things that you actually care about are the most important parts about yourselves. And those might be the ones that are not that perfect. And you know what? That is okay. So I'm gonna go through a couple of things as to why we behave this way and why we shouldn't behave this way. Okay, so point number one is being perfect is just fear in disguise. So let me break this down for you. So when you are afraid of people judging you, you try to be perfect, right? So that means that there's this inherent fear that people are going to judge you, and that's what you're afraid of. You're trying to be digestible for everyone, and then that results in you not being yourself. So, you know, when you have this perfect image of yours, what you're doing is you're putting this like fake version of yourself and not actually being the best version of yourself. And you know what we all want is to truly become the best version of ourselves. Being the best version of yourself does not mean that you're being this perfect person, because the perfect person essentially does not exist. That's not a thing. There's going to be something that you have that at least one person in the world is going to dislike. What's the point of being that perfect version? It just comes out of fear. So being digestible for everyone in your life just means that you are not going to meet the people that are actually aligned to you, who have similar hobbies to you, similar interests, those niche, weird, like joyful moments. You won't have them if you're just trying to be perceived as this like perfect person. People can't actually connect with you. Now this leads to my next point, that people can't connect with you when you're trying to be perfect. Real connection actually comes from you being honest. People can actually feel your honesty, your vibration. If you are being a fake person, people can feel that. Even though they might not realize it, they can feel it, which is why they might not feel that connected to you, that bond, that like deep conversations and things like that. That might not happen when they can feel that there's this like barrier of your authentic self and this like mask that you put in front of people. And the reality is like connection is so important in people's lives. That is so important for humans in general. So regardless of whether it be in the workplace, in your content creation, in business, friendships and relationships, if you're not your authentic self, you're not going to be able to actually connect with people and actually build valuable relationships in your life. The reason why people can't connect with this perfect version of the person you have created possibly is that no one else is perfect. And like we all deep down know that. And so when we see this person that's trying to be perfect and has this mask in front of them, we don't connect because we also know that us ourselves are not perfect. People would rather you be honest. Okay, now let's move into the third point. The third point is that your uniqueness, your imperfections is what makes you very memorable. Those fun parts of yourself is what brings joy to other people and yourself. So if you are putting this mask up and becoming this perfect, trying to be this perfect person in front of other people, they're probably not going to enjoy themselves. You know, what makes a person memorable is how someone makes them feel. It's not just joy. Like, for example, if you're relating through a trauma that you guys might have, it makes you memorable. It makes you guys connect. And that connection inherently makes you a memorable person. You have to remember that the things you hide often tend to be what makes people really love you. It makes you you. People connect through experiences and hobbies and interests. And if you close those off because you're embarrassed and you want to be perceived in a certain way, you're not going to be able to build those relationships around you. You're not going to be able to create that connected feeling in another person. So it makes people forget you, and that's not what you want. You want to create relationships and communities because that's what humans need in our lives. That's what makes us feel really happy in our souls. Okay, now my fourth point is that perfection attracts pressure and authenticity attracts alignment. Okay? This is so important. I briefly touched on it in my other points, but literally, when you think about it, perfection actually does not make you happy. That's because your soul knows that this is not the real you. You know that this is not the real you. And, you know, when you're trying to be perfect for everyone, you just build connections with anyone and everyone. They're not very deep and satisfying connections. They're just surface level, okay? But when you're authentic, there's this massive shift in the friendships that you attract and repel. Not just friendships, any sort of relationship. Even things like jobs. The things that you attract and repel just completely change, because that polarity is really, really important, because it means that you are aligned in your life when you decide to actually choose to be yourself. The right friends come to you, the right relationship, romantic relationships come to you, the right jobs come to you when you are fully yourself. When you are pretending to be someone you're not, you attract the wrong things into your life, and then you wonder why you're not satisfied. Stop trying to be this perfect person. No one is perfect. Okay, it's just a facade, it's just an image that you've created in yourself and in your head. That's not authentically you. Now, my fifth point is that you need to stop trying to be admired by people, but instead try to be known and actually build genuine and deep connections with people. There's this idea, especially on social media, where you want to be admired by people, you want to be put on a pedestal, and that's how you succeed in the industry. And I think that's so surface level. Like, don't you want to actually make people's lives better and actually connect through whatever interests and whatever hobbies and things that just actually make you happy? Like, why don't we go through that road of like trying to connect to people instead of creating this perfect image and perfect, you know, mask, making people feel like that's like what you need to get to, or that's what the perfect life is? Because it never is, right? It's never going to be enough. It's never going to be perfect. So why don't we just connect and help each other grow and help each other, you know, bring joy into our lives. There's certain content that I think is like, you know, has the perfect makeup, the perfect house setup and all that. That's a bit different. I'm talking about the people who are trying to be this perfect, polished version of themselves that in reality, people can't connect to, okay? So stop trying to be admired. Try to be more known to people and actually connect with people. So guys, remember that you can't be perfect and you don't need to be perfect, because the goal isn't to not be criticized by anyone and be liked by everyone. That is not the goal. The goal is to become the best version of yourself, not anyone else, yourself. The best version of yourself will always have flaws, and that is okay. And they're not going to be this polished person who will never make mistakes and never have things that other people disagree with. Like, that's not the reality, and you have to be okay with that. Just be interesting, be honest, just be human, and that's all you need. Anyways guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you guys got something out of this. I was just discussing with people about authenticity recently, and it seems to be a common theme in, like, I think I did a video on authenticity like two weeks ago. Yeah. And I just realized like how important it is. Recently I went to this event that was hosted by Lewis Howes and Aaron Sansoni, I think his name is. And Lewis was talking about, you know, how important it is to be authentic. And I was like, you know what, this is been a common theme that I've been hearing about. And I've realized that perfectionism is actually really stopping people from being their authentic selves. And I think it's so harmful. Like, we need to be the most happiest version of ourselves, right? We try to be the most happiest version of ourselves, right? But that won't happen unless you're being yourself. You're not putting this mask up. You're not being fake to people. You're not, you know, dimming your light. Anyways, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.